Have you ever stood at the edge of the ocean? The vast expanse stretching out before you, seemingly empty under the cloak of night? We often think of the deep sea as a place of utter darkness, a void untouched by light. But what if I told you that this couldn't be further from the truth? What if I told you that hidden beneath the surface, the ocean teems with a light all of its own? A secret, sparkling world just waiting to be discovered. Imagine, if you will, descending into the depths. Sunlight fades quickly, replaced by an inky blackness that presses in from all sides. It's a world where sight as we know it becomes almost useless. But then, a flicker, a tiny, ethereal glow. At first, it's just a single point of light, like a distant star in a liquid sky. But as you venture deeper, more and more of these lights begin to appear. It's like stepping into an underwater galaxy, a universe of living stars scattered across the abyss. These aren't reflections or tricks of the light. These are living organisms, each creating their own light through a process called bioluminescence. It's a natural light show, a symphony of glows and flashes playing out in the darkness. I remember the first time I learned about this, I was a kid, flipping through the pages of a dusty encyclopedia, completely absorbed in a picture of a deep-sea anglerfish with its glowing lure. It sparked something in me, a fascination with the hidden wonders of the ocean that has never really faded, the idea that creatures could create their own light, that the dark depths could be so vibrant and alive. It was just incredible. And the more I learned, the more I realized just how widespread this phenomenon is. Bioluminescence isn't some rare occurrence. It's practically everywhere in the ocean, from the surface waters to the deepest trenches. Countless organisms are using light to communicate, hunt, defend themselves, and find a mate. It's a fundamental part of the marine ecosystem, a language of light spoken in the darkness. Think about that for a moment. We often associate light with warmth, with life, with the sun. But here in the cold, dark depths, light is born from the creatures themselves. It's a testament to the incredible adaptability of life, its ability to thrive in even the most seemingly inhospitable environments. It's a reminder that even where we expect nothing, nature can surprise us with its ingenuity and beauty. This bioluminescence isn't just a static glow either. It's a dynamic, ever-changing display. There are flashes, pulses, waves of light that ripple through the water. Some creatures emit a steady glow, like tiny underwater fireflies. Others produce dazzling bursts of light, startling flashes that can momentarily illuminate the surrounding darkness. And some can even change the color of their light, shifting from blue to green to yellow and even red, depending on their needs. It's a secret language that we're only just beginning to understand. Scientists are still working to decipher the complex communication signals conveyed through these bioluminescent displays. But what we do know is that light plays a crucial role in the lives of these creatures. It's how they find each other, how they warn each other of danger, and how they ensure the survival of their species. And it's not just individual organisms putting on this show. Sometimes entire communities participate in collective bioluminescent displays. Imagine witnessing a vast swarm of jellyfish, each pulsing with its own light, creating a breathtaking underwater spectacle. Picture a colony of siphonophores, long, string-like creatures made up of hundreds of individual organisms, all working together to produce a mesmerizing wave of light. It's truly an awe-inspiring thing to consider, that in this world of overwhelming darkness, there is so much light, so much life, so much communication taking place all around us, all the time. It makes you wonder what other secrets the ocean is still hiding, what other wonders are waiting to be discovered in the depths. For me, bioluminescence is more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a source of wonder, a reminder of the beauty and mystery of the natural world. It's a testament to the power of evolution, the ability of life to adapt and thrive in the most extreme conditions. It's a call to action, a reminder that we need to protect this fragile ecosystem and the incredible creatures that call it home. So, join me as we dive deeper into this fascinating world. As we explore the science behind the glow, the ecological significance of bioluminescence, and the threats that it faces. Let's embark on a journey to uncover the secret life of the sea, a journey into the heart of the ocean's hidden light show. Because once you see the ocean in this new light, you'll never look at it the same way again. Why can't we just see this incredible light show all the time? Why is the bioluminescence of the ocean a secret hidden from everyday view? Well, the first and most obvious reason is the darkness. We're talking about the deep ocean, after all, a place where sunlight simply doesn't penetrate. Think about its sunlight, the very thing we rely on to see, quickly fades as you descend into the water. The sun's rays are absorbed and scattered by the water itself, by all the particles suspended within it. Plankton, sediment, even just plain old salt. Red light, with its longer wavelength, is the first to go. Disappears within the first few meters. Then comes orange, then yellow, and finally, even the blue and green wavelengths that penetrate the deepest start to fade, leaving a world shrouded in perpetual twilight and eventually complete and utter darkness. Below about 1,000 meters, there is absolutely no sunlight whatsoever. This is the abyssal zone, a realm of crushing pressure, frigid temperatures, and a scarcity of food. It's a truly alien environment, and it's in this world that bioluminescence really comes into its own. But this darkness presents an obvious problem for us. If we can't see with our own eyes in the dark, how can we possibly hope to witness the faint glow of bioluminescent organisms? Well, historically, it was incredibly difficult. Early observations relied on chance encounters, glimpses, caught by sailors hauling up nets, or the occasional sighting from a submersible. These were fleeting, anecdotal observations, rarely documented in a rigorous or scientific way. Imagine trying to study a firefly, but only being allowed to see it for a split second every few years. The human eye, for all its amazing capabilities, is simply not sensitive enough to detect the faint light emitted by most bioluminescent organisms, especially in the vastness of the open ocean. We are diurnal creatures, evolved to see in daylight. Our vision is optimized for brightness and color perception, not for picking up the faintest glimmer in absolute darkness. So, to truly understand the secret life of the sea, we needed technology. We needed tools that could overcome the limitations of our own senses. Tools that could amplify and record the faint light emitted by these organisms, and allow us to observe them in their natural habitat. One of the earliest and most important breakthroughs was the development of sensitive light detectors. These devices, known as photomultiplier tubes, or PMTs, are incredibly sensitive to light, capable of detecting even single photons. Essentially, a photon strikes a special surface, which then releases electrons. Those electrons are amplified in stages, allowing for detection of what was once a single particle of light. Imagine taking a single raindrop and turning it into an torrent. That's kind of what a photomultiplier tube does with light. They were initially bulky and expensive, but they allowed scientists to begin to quantify the amount of bioluminescence in the ocean, and to identify regions where it was particularly abundant. But simply detecting the presence of light wasn't enough. We wanted to see what was actually producing that light. We wanted to observe the behavior of bioluminescent organisms in their natural environment. This is where submersibles and remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, came into play. These underwater vehicles, equipped with cameras and other sensors, allowed us to venture into the deep sea and observe bioluminescence firsthand. Were crude and often dangerous, but they provided invaluable glimpses into the hidden world of the deep. Think of Jacques Cousteau, but instead of just a wetsuit and flippers, it's a steel ball descending thousands of feet. As technology advanced, ROVs became increasingly sophisticated. They could be equipped with high-resolution cameras, capable of capturing stunning images and videos of bioluminescent displays. They could also be equipped with robotic arms, allowing scientists to collect samples of bioluminescent organisms for further study in the lab. One of the biggest challenges in observing bioluminescence in the deep sea is avoiding contamination. Any artificial light, even the dimmest red light used for navigation, can disrupt the natural behavior of bioluminescent organisms and cause them to stop glowing. To overcome this, Scientists developed specialized cameras and lighting systems that minimize the amount of light emitted. They also learned to be patient and to observe from a distance, allowing the organisms to acclimate to the presence of the residents of the ROV before attempting to record their behavior. It's like trying to photograph a shy animal in the wild. You have to be quiet, patient, and unobtrusive. Another major advancement has been the development of bioluminescence imaging systems. These systems use highly sensitive cameras to capture images of bioluminescent organisms in the lab, allowing scientists to study their light-producing mechanisms in detail. By manipulating the environment, scientists can learn how different factors, such as temperature, pressure, and salinity, affect bioluminescence. Perhaps one of the most exciting developments in recent years has been the use of genetic engineering to study bioluminescence. By inserting bioluminescent genes into other organisms, scientists can track their movement and behavior in the environment. For example, bioluminescent bacteria have been used to track the flow of water currents. Bioluminescent algae have been used to monitor pollution levels. The use of satellite imagery to detect bioluminescence is another avenue. While the light from individual organisms is far too faint to be seen from space, massive blooms of bioluminescent plankton can sometimes be detected, providing valuable insights into the distribution and dynamics of marine ecosystems. But even with all these technological advancements, studying bioluminescence in the deep sea remains a challenging endeavor. The ocean is vast and unforgiving, and the organisms that inhabit it are often elusive and difficult to study. We're talking about an environment so extreme, the equipment we use to explore it can be pushed to its very limits. Despite these challenges, our understanding of bioluminescence has increased dramatically in recent years, and we are continuing to make new discoveries all the time. We are learning more about the chemical processes that produce light, ecological roles that bioluminescence plays, and the evolutionary history of this fascinating phenomenon. And as technology continues to advance, we can only imagine what new secrets of the deep sea will be revealed. The ocean is a vast and largely unexplored frontier, and bioluminescence is just one of the many wonders that await our discovery. The darkness that once shrouded this world is slowly being pushed back by the light of scientific inquiry, revealing a symphony of light and life that is more extraordinary than we ever imagined. Ever seen a firefly blinking in the summer night? Or perhaps the eerie glow of a deep-sea fish on a nature documentary? That, my friends, is bioluminescence. And trust me, it's way more than just a pretty light show. It's a complex chemical process, a symphony of light orchestrated by some truly fascinating molecules. So let's dive into the nitty-gritty of how this all works. At its core, bioluminescence is a chemical reaction. A reaction that transforms chemical energy into light energy. And the stars of this show? Two main characters, luciferin and luciferase. Luciferin is a generic name for a light-emitting compound. Think of it as the fuel. Now here's the thing. Luciferin isn't just one single molecule. Oh no, that would be far too simple. It's actually a whole family of molecules, each with its own unique structure and properties, depending on the organism that's using it. Some luciferins are small, others are large and complex. Some are linear, some are cyclic. But they all share one thing in common. They're capable of emitting light when they react with oxygen. The fascinating aspect of luciferin is how varied it can be. In fireflies, for example, the luciferin is a complex organic molecule called firefly. Luciferin, in certain types of jellyfish, it's a molecule called coenterazine. And in some bacteria, it's a completely different molecule called riboflavin phosphate. This diversity is a testament to the independent evolution of bioluminescence. Across different species, it's as if nature has repeatedly stumbled upon the same brilliant idea. But with slightly different implementations each time now, to ignite that fuel, you need a catalyst. And that's where luciferase comes in. Luciferase is an enzyme, a biological catalyst that speeds up the reaction between luciferin and oxygen. Think of it as the spark plug in our bioluminescent engine.
I like luciferin.
Luciferase isn't just one single enzyme either. It's also a family of enzymes, each tailored to work with a specific type of luciferin, What's truly remarkable is the specificity of these enzymes. A luciferase from one species might not work at all with the luciferin from another species. This high degree of specificity is crucial for ensuring that the bioluminescent reaction occurs only when and where it's needed. It prevents unwanted light emissions and allows organisms to precisely control their bioluminescent displays. The chemical reaction itself is a beautiful thing. Luciferase binds to the luciferin molecule, and then oxygen comes into play. It's the luciferase facilitates the oxidation of luciferin, a process where luciferin loses electrons. This oxidation reaction releases energy, and that energy is emitted as light. But wait, there's more. In many organisms, the bioluminescent reaction also involves other molecules, such as ATP adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency of cells, or calcium ions, which act as signaling molecules. These molecules can play a role in regulating the bioluminescent reaction, turning it on or off, or modulating the intensity of the light and the color of the light. That depends on the specific luciferin and luciferase involved, as well as other factors like pH and temperature. Different luciferin-luciferase combinations can produce light ranging from blue and green to yellow and red. It's a veritable rainbow of bioluminescence. Where does all this light happen within the organism? Often it occurs in specialized structures called photophores. Think of photophores as tiny light organs. These structures can be simple, consisting of just a few light-producing cells. Or they can be complex, with lenses, reflectors, and filters to control the direction and color of the light. The arrangement of photophores can vary widely among different species. Some organisms have photophores scattered all over their bodies, like twinkling stars in the night sky. Others have them concentrated in specific areas, like on their bellies, around their eyes, or at the tips of their appendages. For instance, many deep-sea fish have photophores on their undersides, a strategy called counter-illumination. This helps them camouflage themselves against the faint sunlight filtering down from above, making them less visible to predators looking up from below. And let's not forget about the diversity of bioluminescent reactions themselves. While the luciferin-luciferase reaction is the most common, it's not the only way to produce bioluminescence. Some organisms, like certain types of jellyfish, use a protein called green fluorescent protein, or GFP. In addition to luciferin and LUCIFE, or CRSE, in these organisms, the luciferin-luciferase reaction produces blue light, which is then absorbed by GFP. GFP then emits green light, shifting the color of the bioluminescence. This process is called fluorescence, and it allows these organisms to fine-tune the color of their light. Other organisms use completely different chemical reactions to produce bioluminescence. For example, some bacteria use a reaction involving flavin molecules and oxygen to emit light. And some fungi use a reaction involving a compound called hispidon to produce a greenish glow. So, as you can see, bioluminescence is a complex and diverse phenomenon with a variety of chemical reactions, enzymes, and structures involved. It's a testament to the ingenuity of evolution, a brilliant adaptation that has evolved independently in many different species across the tree of life. And it all boils down to that beautiful, elegant dance between luciferin and luciferase, a true symphony of light played out in the depths of the ocean and beyond. Okay, so we've established that bioluminescence is this amazing light show happening all around us in the ocean. But it's more than just pretty lights, right? It's not just the ocean's disco ball. Now, these tiny flickers are actually playing a huge role in how marine ecosystems function. Think of it as a secret language, a hidden network of communication and survival strategies all powered by light. Let's break down why these little lights are so important. First off, communication. In the deep sea, where sunlight can't penetrate, bioluminescence becomes the primary form of visual communication. It's like sending a text message in a completely dark room. Organisms use these light signals to talk to each other, to signal danger, to attract a mate, or even just to say, "Hey, I'm here." Imagine a school of fish suddenly flashing in unison. It's not just a random display. They might be warning each other about a predator or coordinating their movements to confuse a hunter. Or consider a single lonely anglerfish using its glowing lure to attract unsuspecting prey. That little light is a dinner bell in the darkness. A strategic signal that can mean the difference between life and death. And it's not just fish that are chatting with light. Everything from tiny plankton to massive jellyfish use bioluminescence to communicate. These signals can be incredibly complex, involving different colors, patterns, and intensities of light. Scientists are just beginning to decode this language of light to understand the nuances of these bioluminescent conversations. It's like eavesdropping on a conversation between aliens, except these aliens are right here on our own planet. Then there's the whole hunting aspect. Touched on the anglerfish, but that's just one example. Many predators use bioluminescence to lure their prey closer. It's a classic baton switch tactic. The prey sees a glimmer of light, thinks it's found a tasty snack or a potential mate, and swims right into the jaws of the predator. It's a cruel trick, but hey, that's nature. But bioluminescence isn't just for predators. It's also a powerful defense mechanism. Many organisms use light to protect themselves from being eaten. One common strategy is called counter-illumination. This is where an organism produces light on its underside to match the faint downwelling sunlight. It's like having a cloaking device, making the animal virtually invisible to predators looking up from below. Think of it like this. If you're swimming in the ocean and looking up, you'll see a faint glow of sunlight filtering through the water. Now, imagine a small fish with glowing lights on its belly that perfectly match that sunlight. It essentially disappears against the background, becoming invisible to predators lurking in the depths. It's a brilliant form of camouflage, using light to blend into the environment. Another defense tactic is the startle display. Some organisms can suddenly flash a bright light to startle or confuse a predator, giving them a chance to escape. It's like setting off a flashbang in the dark, disorienting your attacker and giving yourself a head start. And others, like the vampire squid, can eject a cloud of bioluminescent mucus to distract predators, creating a shimmering smoke screen that allows them to make a quick getaway. It's a sacrificial flare, sacrificing a bit of light to save its own life. But probably one of the most interesting applications of bioluminescence is in mate attraction. In the deep sea, finding a partner can be a real challenge. It's dark, it's vast, and there's not a lot of visual cues to go on. Bioluminescence solves that problem. Many organisms use unique light displays to attract a mate, creating elaborate courtship rituals that are both beautiful and bizarre. Imagine male fireflies, flashing their lights in a specific pattern to attract females. Now picture that same scenario playing out in the ocean, with different species using different colors, patterns, and intensities of light to signal their availability and attract the right partner. It's like a singles bar, but instead of awkward conversation and bad pickup lines, it's all about flashing the right light. These bioluminescent mating displays can be incredibly specific. Different species have different light signals, ensuring that they attract the right mate and avoid hybridization. It's like having a secret code that only members of your species can understand. This specificity is crucial for maintaining biodiversity and preventing the mixing of genes between different species. Some species even synchronize their bioluminescent displays to coordinate spawning events. Imagine thousands of individuals all flashing in unison, releasing their eggs and sperm into the water at the same time. It's a spectacular sight, a synchronized light show that maximizes the chances of successful fertilization. It's like nature's version of a carefully choreographed dance, all timed perfectly to the rhythm of the light. So as you can see, bioluminescence is much more than just a pretty light. It's a fundamental part of marine ecosystems, playing a crucial role in communication, hunting, defense, and mate attraction. It's a hidden language of light that governs the lives of countless organisms, from the tiniest plankton to the largest jellyfish. And the more we learn about this amazing phenomenon, the more we appreciate the complexity and beauty of the ocean's hidden world. It's a reminder that even in the darkest depths, life finds a way to shine. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to navigate a world shrouded in perpetual darkness. A world where the sun's life-giving rays can't penetrate, where the only illumination comes from the creatures that call it home. This is the reality for countless organisms in the deep ocean, and it's in this environment that bioluminescence truly shines, becoming a vital tool for survival. But it's not just about finding your way around. For many predators, bioluminescence is a weapon, a carefully crafted strategy to lure, ambush, or simply illuminate their next meal. Let's start with one of the most iconic examples, the anglerfish. These denizens of the deep are masters of deception, and their bioluminescent lure is a testament to the power of evolutionary ingenuity. Imagine this. A small, modified dorsal fin spine extends over the anglerfish's head, tipped with a glowing bulb, or esca. This esca is teeming with bioluminescent bacteria, symbiotic relationship where the anglerfish provides a safe haven and nutrients, and the bacteria provide the light. In the inky blackness of the deep sea, this tiny beacon becomes irresistible to smaller fish. Drawn in by the promise of a meal, they venture closer, only to find themselves within striking distance of the anglerfish's gaping maw. Snap, dinner is served. It's a simple, yet incredibly effective strategy, and it highlights how bioluminescence can be used to create a deadly trap. But that's not the end of the anglerfish tricks. The anglerfish also has the ability to blink its light to attract more fish. This gives the illusion of movement in the distance, attracting even the most hesitant of fish, but anglerfish aren't the only predators employing this tactic. The dragonfish, another formidable hunter of the deep, also uses bioluminescence to its advantage. However, instead of a dangling lure, the dragonfish has a bioluminescent organ located just below its eyes. This searchlight allows it to scan the surrounding waters, piercing through the darkness to spot potential prey. What makes this even more fascinating is that the dragonfish can see the red spectrum, color most other deep-sea creatures can't detect. This means the dragonfish's beam is essentially invisible to its prey, allowing it to approach undetected before striking with lightning speed. Imagine being a small fish, minding your own business in the darkness, when suddenly a pair of jaws appear out of nowhere, illuminated by a light you can't even see. Talk about a bad day. Then there are the cookie-cutter sharks. These small but voracious predators employ a different kind of bioluminescent strategy. Their undersides are covered in light-producing photophores, except for a dark band around their neck. This creates the illusion of a smaller fish silhouetted against the faint light filtering down from the surface. A tempting target for larger predators. When an unsuspecting shark or dolphin approaches, thinking it's about to enjoy a snack, the cookie-cutter shark takes a perfectly circular bite out of its flesh, leaving a distinctive wound and earning its rather descriptive name. It's not necessarily hunting for a kill, but it's a clever way to get a quick and relatively easy meal, using bioluminescence to exploit the hunting instincts of other predators. But bioluminescence isn't just about luring or illuminating. Some predators use it to disorient or confuse their prey. Take the viperfish, for example. This fearsome predator possesses photophores along its body and a bioluminescent lure extending from its dorsal fin. But unlike the anglerfish, the viperfish uses its lure not just to attract prey, but also to control its movements. By flashing the lure in different patterns, the viperfish can seemingly hypnotize its victims, drawing them closer and closer, until they're within striking range of its needle-sharp teeth. It's a mesmerizing and terrifying display of predatory prowess, showcasing the versatility of bioluminescence as a hunting tool. Even some species of jellyfish use bioluminescence in offensive ways. Certain deep-sea jellyfish, like the Atola Wyvale, emit a brilliant burst of light when disturbed. This burglar alarm serves multiple purposes. First, it can startle and disorient potential predators, giving the jellyfish a chance to escape. Second, and perhaps more intriguingly, can attract even larger predators to the scene, potentially turning the tables on the initial attacker. It's like calling for backup in the most dramatic way possible, using bioluminescence to create a chaotic situation that benefits the jellyfish, And let's not forget the fascinating case of some squid species. Certain deep-sea squid are known to release clouds of bioluminescent fluid when threatened. This smokescreen not only obscures their escape, but can also confuse predators, leaving them unsure of where their prey has gone. It's the deep-sea equivalent of a magic trick, using light to create an illusion and vanish into the darkness. This strategy isn't necessarily about directly attacking prey, but it is a brilliant use of bioluminescence to gain an advantage. In the predator-prey relationship, ensuring survival in a hostile environment, what's truly remarkable is the sheer diversity of ways these animals have adapted bioluminescence to suit their specific hunting needs. From the patient ambush tactics of the anglerfish to the dazzling displays of the viperfish and the evasive maneuvers of bioluminescent squid, the ocean's dark depths are a theater of light and shadow, where predators use bioluminescence to outwit, outmaneuver, and ultimately survive. It's a constant arms race, a never-ending cycle of adaptation and counter-adaptation, all driven by the need to find food in a world where light is a precious commodity. So, the next time you think about bioluminescence, remember that it's not just a pretty light show. It's a powerful tool, a weapon in the hands of some of the ocean's most fascinating and formidable predators. A testament to the incredible power of evolution and the enduring struggle for survival in the deep. All right, let's dive into the world of bioluminescence as a defense mechanism, nature's very own shield of light. It's not just about pretty glows. It's a survival strategy honed over millions of years. Think of it as the ultimate adapt or perish situation, but with a dazzling twist. Now, when we talk about defense, we're really talking about avoiding becoming someone else's lunch. And in the ocean, where visibility can be, well, non-existent, light becomes a crucial tool in this ongoing battle for survival, one of the most common applications of bioluminescence for defense is camouflage. Imagine being a small, vulnerable creature drifting in the vast expanse of the ocean. Sunlight filters down from above, creating a dim, diffuse glow. Predators lurking below or looking up, silhouetted against this faint light. Now, if you could somehow match that downwelling light with your own light, you'd essentially become invisible. This is exactly what counter-illumination is all about. Many midwater creatures, like certain species of squid and fish, possess photophores, those light-producing organs we talked about on their bellies. They use these photophores to emit a soft, downward-facing glow that perfectly matches the ambient light from above. It's like having a built-in cloaking device. Predators look up, and instead of seeing a silhouette, they see nothing. The animal blends seamlessly into the background, a ghost in the water. It's an incredibly effective strategy, especially in the twilight zone, where just enough light penetrates to make silhouettes a deadly threat. The animal isn't blocking the downwelling light, it's becoming part of it. This isn't just about hiding, it's about becoming one with the environment. But camouflage is just the beginning. Sometimes, a more assertive approach is required. Imagine you're a small shrimp, minding your own business, when suddenly a larger predator appears. What do? Well, some bioluminescent shrimp have a rather shocking solution. They unleash a dazzling burst of light. These startling displays serve multiple purposes. First, they can simply disorient the predator, giving the shrimp a chance to escape in the confusion. It's like shining a bright light in someone's eyes. It's momentarily blinding and disorienting. This buys the shrimp precious seconds too. Dart away to safety. Second, a sudden flash of light can attract the attention of other predators. This is where things get really interesting. The original predator, now suddenly illuminated, becomes a target itself. It's like saying, "Hey, look at this tasty meal. Come and get it." This is often called the burglar alarm effect. Not just scaring off the attacker, you're potentially turning it into the victim. Of course, this strategy is a gamble. It relies on there being other predators nearby. But in the crowded and competitive environment of the ocean, it's often a risk worth taking. The shrimp has nothing to lose by unleashing its light show, potentially everything to gain. And then there's the ultimate sacrifice, the sacrificial flare. Some bioluminescent creatures, when threatened, will release a cloud of glowing fluid into the water. This is a desperate measure, but it can be incredibly effective. The glowing cloud serves as a decoy, distracting the predator while the creature makes its escape. It's like throwing a smoke grenade the predator is drawn to. The bright, shimmering cloud, giving the prey a chance to vanish into the darkness. What's fascinating is the complexity of these flares. They're not just random bursts of light. They can be precisely controlled, with varying shapes, sizes, and durations. Some creatures can even release multiple flares, creating a confusing and disorienting display that completely overwhelms the predator. Think of the vampire squid. For instance, while it might sound like something out of a horror movie, it's actually a relatively small and harmless creature. But when threatened, it can eject a sticky cloud of bioluminescent mucus. This cloud hangs in the water, shimmering and glowing, while the squid makes its escape. It's a literal smokescreen made of light, buying the vampire squid valuable time to disappear into the depths. These sacrificial flares are a testament to the power of bioluminescence. As a defense mechanism, it's not just about surviving. It's about creating a diversion, a distraction, a moment of chaos that allows you to live to fight another day. So, it's from the subtle camouflage of counter-illumination to the shocking displays of light bursts and the selfless sacrifice of glowing flares, bioluminescence offers a remarkable array of defensive strategies. It's a reminder that in the dark depths of the ocean, light is not just about seeing. It's about surviving. It's about creating a shield, a smokescreen, a moment of confusion that tips the scales in your favor. And it's a testament to the incredible ingenuity of evolution. It's constantly finding new and creative ways to stay alive in a challenging world. All right. So we've established that bioluminescence is this incredible light show happening all around us, mostly unseen. But it's not just for looking pretty. Oh no. These lights serve a purpose, a crucial one, especially when it comes to finding the one down in the depths. We're talking about the fascinating role of bioluminescence in mating rituals. Think about it. Down in the deep sea, where sunlight is a distant memory or doesn't exist at all, finding a mate is a real challenge. You can't just rely on sight when there's practically no light to see with. So how do these creatures manage to find each other in the vast dark ocean? The answer, more often than not, is bioluminescence. It's like a dating app, but with a much more luminous profile picture. First up, species recognition. Imagine you're a deep-sea critter floating around in the inky blackness. There are countless other organisms sharing your habitat, but you're only interested in finding a mate of your own kind? How do you avoid accidentally hitting on a sea cucumber, or worse, becoming dinner for a hungry anglerfish? Well, many species use bioluminescent signals that are unique to them. These signals can take various forms, specific colors, patterns of flashes, or even the duration of a glow, like a secret code only understood by members of the same species. For instance, certain types of fireflies produce a specific flashing pattern that acts as a beacon, attracting only other fireflies of the same species. Marine organisms do the same thing, creating species-specific light shows that help them identify potential mates. It's a sophisticated system of underwater communication, a luminous language spoken only by those who understand the dialect. Now, let's talk about courtship displays. Once a potential mate has been identified, the real fun begins. Bioluminescence is often used to create elaborate courtship displays designed to impress and woo a potential partner. These displays can be incredibly complex and beautiful, showcasing the animal's fitness, health, and overall desirability. Think of it like this. Male anglerfish, known for their parasitic mating habits, uses its lure not just for food, but to signal its existence to a possible mate. It's a beacon saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm a healthy, capable mate. Come hither." Females are drawn to this beacon and fuse permanently. The male angler literally becomes a part of the female and fertilizes eggs. Other marine organisms take a more theatrical approach. Some species of jellyfish, for example, create dazzling displays of pulsating light, synchronized to attract potential mates. The male sea sapphire has one of the most fascinating displays. a very small species of copepod, the tiny male sea sapphire, only 0.5 millimeter, is almost completely invisible. But when it wants to attract a mate, it uses microscopic crystal plates on its back to act as a mirror, reflecting multiple hues of light and creating flashes of color for its mate. These displays aren't just about looking pretty. They're also a way for individuals to assess each other's fitness. A strong, healthy individual will be able to produce a brighter, more consistent glow, signaling their superior genes to potential mates. It's like an underwater version of peacock feathers, a visual representation of genetic quality. And then we have the grand finale, synchronization of spawning events. For many marine organisms, reproduction is a group effort, involving the simultaneous release of eggs and sperm into the water. This is known as spawning, and it's often a highly coordinated event, timed to maximize the chances of fertilization. Bioluminescence plays a crucial role in synchronizing these spawning events, ensuring that everyone is ready to go at the same time. Some species of marine worms, for instance, gather in large numbers and perform elaborate bioluminescent displays. Just before spawning, the light signals trigger the release of eggs and sperm, ensuring that fertilization occurs efficiently. It's like a giant underwater rave, signaling the start of a massive reproductive event. There's another example. Many of the brittle stars perform synchronized spawning and bioluminesce together, even without a nervous system to orchestrate the event. How? One possibility is that the individuals are reacting to external stimuli, such as light from other species or chemical cues. But there is much more research to be done. The beauty of bioluminescence in this context is its reliability. A signal that cuts through the darkness, ensuring that individuals can coordinate their reproductive efforts even in the most challenging environments. It's a testament to the power of natural selection, shaping these luminous displays to maximize reproductive success. So, as you can see, bioluminescence is far more than just a pretty light show. It's a critical tool for communication, courtship, and reproduction in the deep sea. It allows marine organisms to find each other, assess each other's fitness, and synchronize their spawning events, all in the absence of sunlight. It's a luminous language that speaks of survival, reproduction, and the enduring power of life in the deep ocean. And it's just one more reason to be amazed by the incredible diversity and ingenuity of the natural world. These creatures are literally glowing with love, or at least with the desire to reproduce. And in the dark depths of the ocean, that's often the same thing. It all goes to show, when life gives you darkness, you make light. And sometimes that light leads you to the one. Alright, we've talked about individual organisms wielding bioluminescence, like personal lanterns in the inky blackness. But the ocean is also a place of incredible collaboration, and that extends to the use of light. Prepare to witness bioluminescence on a grander scale, a collective effort where individual sparks merge into dazzling displays. We're diving into the world of colonies and communities where bioluminescence becomes a shared language, a collective defense, and a breathtaking spectacle. Think about jellyfish. Many of us picture them as solitary, bell-shaped creatures drifting through the water, and while that's often true, there are also colonial jellyfish, organisms like the Portuguese man of war, which, despite its name, isn't a single jellyfish, but a colony of individual polyps, each specialized for a specific task. Some form the gas-filled float, others the stinging tentacles, and still others are responsible for digestion. Yes. Some even produce light. Now, the purpose of bioluminescence in these colonial jellyfish can be multifaceted. It can be used for defense, creating a dazzling flash to startle potential predators. But it's also believed to play a role in communication within the colony itself. Imagine a coordinated flash rippling across the entire structure, signaling danger, or perhaps even coordinating feeding behavior. It's a complex language written in light, and we're only just beginning to decipher it. But perhaps the most spectacular examples of collective bioluminescence are found in siphonophores. These are bizarre and beautiful colonial creatures, relatives of jellyfish and corals that drift through the deep ocean. They're essentially floating cities, composed of hundreds, even thousands of individual zooids, each modified for a specific purpose. Think of it as the ultimate team effort in survival. Some zooids handle propulsion, others capture prey, and, of course, are dedicated to creating light. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Siphonophores don't just glow randomly. They often exhibit complex and coordinated bioluminescent displays. Imagine a long, delicate string of lights snaking through the water, pulsing with an otherworldly glow. These displays can serve a variety of purposes. They can attract prey, luring unsuspecting creatures into the siphonophore's deadly tentacles. They can also be used for defense, creating a dazzling flash to confuse predators, or even a decoy display to distract them while the colony makes its escape. One particularly fascinating example is the siphonophore, Marus orthicana. This deep sea species has been observed to use bioluminescence as a kind of burglar alarm. When disturbed, it releases a bright flash of light, potentially alerting other members of the colony to danger. But more than that, the flash may also attract larger predators to the scene. Predators that might prey on the smaller creature that was initially bothering the siphonophore. It's a risky strategy, but it can be an effective way to deter smaller threats. And it's not just siphonophores and colonial jellyfish that engage in these collective light shows. Many other marine organisms form communities where bioluminescence plays a crucial role in communication and coordination. Take certain species of bioluminescent bacteria, for example. These tiny organisms often live in dense concentrations, creating shimmering patches of light in the water. When these bacteria reach a certain density, they begin to produce light in a coordinated fashion. Phenomenon known as quorum sensing. The trigger, chemical signal they release into the water. As the population grows, the concentration of this signal increases. Once it reaches a critical threshold, the quorum, it activates the genes responsible for bioluminescence, causing the entire community to light up. This coordinated light production can serve a variety of purposes, from attracting fish that will disperse the bacteria to aiding in symbiotic relationships with other marine organisms. Think about anglerfish again. Many anglerfish species rely on bioluminescent bacteria to power their lures. These bacteria are housed in specialized light organs, and the anglerfish controls the light production by regulating the flow of oxygen to the bacteria. But the bacteria themselves are also playing a role, responding to the anglerfish's signals and coordinating their light output to create the most effective lure possible. It's a true partnership, a symbiotic relationship built on the shared language of light. The scale of these collective bioluminescent displays can be truly inspiring. Imagine witnessing a vast swarm of krill, each individual organism flashing in unison, creating a breathtaking wave of light that sweeps across the ocean. Or envision a coral reef, teeming with bioluminescent organisms, transforming into a shimmering underwater metropolis at night. These are not just random displays of light, they are carefully orchestrated performances. A testament to the power of collaboration and communication in the marine world. And what's truly remarkable is that we're only just beginning to understand the complexities of these bioluminescent interactions. We're still learning how these organisms communicate with each other through light, how they coordinate their displays, and how these displays influence the behavior of other marine creatures. But one thing is clear: bioluminescence is far more than just a pretty light show. It's a fundamental aspect of marine ecology, a crucial tool for survival, and a powerful force shaping the dynamics of the ocean ecosystem. It's a reminder that even in the darkest depths, life finds a way to shine, and that even the smallest sparks can create the most magnificent displays when they work together. It's the power of collective bioluminescence, and it's a wonder worth protecting. All right, let's dive deep, really deep into the abyssal zone. We're talking about a world where sunlight is a distant memory. Pressure crushes the unprepared, and life finds a way in the most extraordinary ways. And when we talk about extraordinary life in the deep sea, one creature immediately surfaces. Or rather, doesn't surface. The anglerfish. Now, you might have seen an anglerfish before. It's the poster child for bizarre deep-sea adaptations. The one with the oversized teeth, the bulbous body, and of course that eerie glowing lure dangling from its head. But there's so much more to the anglerfish than just a freaky appearance. It's a master of deception, a patient predator, and a testament to the power of evolution in the face of extreme environments. The anglerfish isn't just one species. It's a whole suborder of fish, the Lophiiformes, encompassing a diverse array of forms, sizes, and hunting strategies. But the deep-sea anglerfish, specifically those in the Serracidae suborder, are the ones that have truly mastered the art of bioluminescent deception. Imagine this. You're a small, specting fish, drifting through the inky blackness of the deep sea. There's no sun, no moon, no familiar landmarks, just endless crushing darkness. Food is scarce, and every moment is a gamble for survival. Then you see it, a faint flickering light. In this desolate environment, any sign of light is intriguing. A beacon of hope, perhaps even a potential meal. You approach the light, drawn in by its hypnotic glimmer. As you get closer, you realize the light is coming from a small fleshy appendage dangling in the water. It pulses gently, beckoning you closer still. And that's when it happens. In a sudden, lightning-fast strike, a massive mouth opens, engulfing you whole. You've been lured, trapped, and devoured by the aleshid. This, in essence, is the anglerfish's hunting strategy. Bioluminescent luring, the dangling appendage called the esca, is the anglerfish's fishing rod, its ultimate weapon. In the fight for survival, but how does it work? What's the secret behind that mesmerizing glow? The answer, as with many things in the deep sea, lies in a symbiotic relationship. The esca isn't inherently bioluminescent. Instead, it's home to colonies of bioluminescent bacteria. These bacteria, in exchange for shelter and nutrients provided by the anglerfish, emit a constant soft glow. The anglerfish can even control the intensity and pattern of the light, perhaps to attract different types of prey or to mimic the bioluminescent displays of other organisms. It's a masterful example of coevolution, where two different species have evolved together, each benefiting from the other's presence. The anglerfish gets a built-in lure. The bacteria get a safe haven in the harsh environment of the deep sea. Now, the esca isn't just a simple light bulb. It's a complex organ with intricate structures and sensory capabilities. Species have esca that resemble small fish or crustaceans, further enhancing their deceptive appeal. Others have esca with multiple filaments or appendages, creating a more complex and alluring display. The location of the esca is also strategic. It's typically positioned on the anglerfish's head just above its mouth, ensuring that any prey that approaches the light is perfectly positioned for a quick and efficient strike. The anglerfish's mouth is perfectly adapted for its predatory lifestyle. It's enormous, often wider than the anglerfish's body, and lined with sharp, inward-pointing teeth that prevent prey from escaping. But the anglerfish's adaptations don't stop there. To conserve energy in the food-scarce deep sea, it has a slow metabolism and a relaxed lifestyle. It often remains motionless in the water, waiting patiently for prey to approach. And when prey does come within range, the anglerfish can expand its stomach to accommodate meals much larger than itself. Talk about being prepared. There's another incredibly fascinating aspect of anglerfish biology: sexual dimorphism. In many deep-sea anglerfish species, the males are significantly smaller than the females, sometimes drastically so. In fact, some male anglerfish are so small that they're practically microscopic compared to their female counterparts. These tiny males don't have a functional digestive system and must find a female quickly to survive. When they do, they undergo a bizarre and permanent transformation. The male bites onto the female's body, typically on her belly, and begins to fuse with her tissue. Over time, his body essentially becomes part of hers, sharing her circulatory system and receiving nutrients directly from her bloodstream in exchange. The male provides sperm, ensuring that the female can reproduce. It's a rather extreme form of sexual parasitism, where the male sacrifices his independence and individuality to become a permanent appendage of the female. This strategy ensures reproductive success in the vast and sparsely populated deep sea, where finding a mate can be a monumental challenge. The anglerfish, in all its bizarre glory, is a testament to the power of adaptation, a living example of how life can thrive even in the most extreme and unforgiving environments. Its bioluminescent lure, its enormous mouth, its relaxed lifestyle, and its unique reproductive strategy all contribute to its success as a predator in the deep sea. So, the next time you see a picture of an anglerfish, remember that it's not just a freaky-looking fish. It's a master of deception, a patient predator, and a symbol of the endless wonders that await us in the unexplored depths of the ocean. It's a constant reminder of the secrets still hidden beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered. And it should really cause you to think next time, before following a light in the darkness. So, we've established that bioluminescence is a pretty common and incredibly useful tool in the ocean's arsenal. From luring unsuspecting prey to flashing warnings to potential predators, the possibilities are seemingly endless. But what about when you need something more drastic? What about when a simple flash just isn't going to cut it? That's where the vampire squid comes in. Now, the name might conjure up images of, well, a squid like Dracula. And while they might not have fangs, these deep-sea denizens definitely have a trick up their sleeve that's just as unsettling. Bioluminescent smokescreen. Let's dive into the shadowy depths, about 3,000 feet below the surface, where sunlight struggles to penetrate. Here, pressure is immense, and the water is perpetually cold. This is where the vampire squid asterisk, Vampiroteuthis, Infernalis asterisk, literally vampire squid from hell, makes its home. Despite the dramatic name, these aren't aggressive predators. In fact, they're more like scavengers, feeding on marine snow, the organic detritus that drifts down from the surface. Imagine they're defenseless. Imagine you're a small, soft-bodied creature in this inky blackness. A larger predator, maybe a lanternfish or a viperfish, has its eyes or light-sensitive organs locked on you. Escape seems impossible. What do? This is where the vampire squid's unique defense mechanism comes into play. Instead of relying on speed or camouflage, it unleashes a cloud of bioluminescent mucus. It's like a ninja deploying a smoke bomb. But instead of smoke, it's a shimmering, glowing cloud. But how does this smoke screen work? Well, the vampire squid possesses specialized cells called photophores,
Similar to those found in other bioluminescent organisms?
However, in this case, these photophores aren't just scattered across the body. Instead, they're concentrated in specialized glands that produce this bioluminescent mucus. When threatened, the vampire squid ejects this mucus cloud from the tips of its arms. This isn't just a puff. It's a significant expulsion, creating a relatively dense and persistent cloud of light. And it is this cloud that creates that smoke screen effect. Now, the brilliance of this defense lies in its multifaceted effect. First and foremost, it's disorienting. The sudden burst of light can startle the predator, disrupting its focus and giving the vampire squid a crucial window of opportunity to escape. Imagine being in a pitch-black room and someone suddenly flashes. A bright light in your face. You'd be momentarily blinded and disoriented, right? It is the same idea here, but the effect goes beyond mere disorientation. The bioluminescent cloud also acts as a decoy. The predator is likely to fixate on the glowing cloud, giving the vampire squid time to disappear into the darkness. A classic misdirection tactic. The predator is so focused on the shiny, distracting object that it completely loses track of the actual target. Think of it like this. You're watching a magician perform a trick. They wave their hands and create a flash of light, drawing your attention to one area, while secretly performing the actual trick somewhere else. The vampire squid does something similar, using light to divert attention and make its escape. Even more fascinating, the cloud isn't just a static burst of light. It can linger in the water, slowly dispersing and continuing to glow for several seconds, or even minutes. This lingering effect further enhances the confusion, making it difficult for the predator to reacquire its target. It's like a smoke screen that hangs in the air, obscuring the battlefield and making it nearly impossible to see what's going on. And the beauty of this defense mechanism is that it's relatively low energy. Unlike chasing after prey or engaging in a physical confrontation, ejecting a mucus cloud requires minimal effort. This is crucial in the deep sea, where energy is scarce and every calorie counts. Consider the alternative. A vampire squid could try to outrun a predator, but it's not a particularly fast swimmer. It could try to fight, but it lacks the sharp teeth or powerful claws of many of its adversaries. The bioluminescent smokescreen offers a much more efficient and effective way to survive. Furthermore, composition of the mucus itself might contribute to its effectiveness. While the bioluminescence is the most obvious component, the mucus likely contains other substances that could further deter predators. Or maybe it contains chemicals that irritate the predator's sensory organs. Unfortunately, studying this aspect of the vampire squid's defense mechanism is challenging. The deep sea is a difficult environment to access and observe, and collecting samples without disturbing the animal is no easy feat. However, ongoing research is slowly shedding light on the secrets of this incredible adaptation. What makes the vampire squid's bioluminescent defense even more remarkable is its specificity. It's not just a generic response to any potential threat. The vampire squid appears to be able to control the amount and intensity of the light it emits, tailoring its defense to the specific situation. For example, if the threat is relatively minor, it might only release a small puff of mucus. But if the threat is more serious, it might unleash a larger and more intense cloud. This level of control suggests that the vampire squid has a sophisticated understanding of its own defense capabilities and can adjust its strategy accordingly. The vampire squid's smoke screen is a testament to the power of evolution. In a world of perpetual darkness and constant danger, this creature has developed a truly ingenious way to survive. It's a reminder that even in the most extreme environments, life finds a way to adapt and thrive, often in the most unexpected and awe-inspiring ways. And as we continue to explore the depths of the ocean, we're sure to uncover even more secrets about the vampire squid and its bioluminescent smokescreen. Knows what other surprises await us in the deep? One thing is certain: the ocean is full of wonder, and the vampire squid is just one shining example of its boundless creativity. But enough about the big flashy light shows. Let's talk about the tiny ones. The microscopic architects of so much of the bioluminescent spectacle we see in the ocean, bacteria, specifically bioluminescent bacteria. Now you might be thinking, bacteria? Seriously? Those just, tiny little germs? And while some bacteria are harmful, many are essential for life on Earth. They're the recyclers, the nutrient fixers, the foundation of entire ecosystems. And some, a select few, have mastered the art of producing light. These aren't just any old bacteria, mind you. We're talking about species like Vibrio fiscari, Vibrio harvey, and Photobacterium phosphorium. Those names might sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but they're the real deal. These bacteria, and others like them, are the powerhouses behind a huge portion of marine bioluminescence. But here's the really fascinating part: they often don't do it alone. See, these bacteria are masters of symbiosis, forming intricate partnerships with larger marine organisms. This is where it gets really interesting. Think about it. Tiny bacterium, capable of producing light. But a single bacterium's glow is pretty weak, right? It's not going to attract much attention. So, how do they make a difference? The answer lies in the light organs. These are specialized structures on marine organisms, often fish or squid, designed to house and nurture colonies of bioluminescent bacteria. It's like having a tiny internal flashlight farm. The host organism provides the bacteria with a safe haven, a constant supply of nutrients in a stable environment. In return, the bacteria provide the host with a reliable source of light. It's a classic win-win situation, symbiotic relationship at its finest. Now, how does this work in practice? Let's take a look at a few examples. The Hawaiian bobtail squid, Euprymna scalops, is a prime example. This little squid, only a few inches long, lives in the shallow waters around the Hawaiian Islands. It spends its nights hunting for small crustaceans. But it faces a problem. Moonlight, you see. Even on moonless nights, there's still some ambient light filtering down from the surface. This can cast a shadow of the squid on the seafloor, making it an easy target for predators lurking below. So, what's a squid to do? It turns to its bacterial partners, The Hawaiian bobtail squid has a specialized light organ in its mantle, a pouch-like structure containing millions of Vibrio fiscari bacteria. These bacteria produce a steady glow of blue-green light, which the squid can precisely control by adjusting the intensity of the light. The squid can perfectly match the ambient light from the surface, effectively eliminating its shadow. This is called counter-illumination, and it's an incredibly effective form of camouflage. The squid becomes practically invisible to predators looking up from below. It's like a stealth cloak powered by bacteria, but the story gets even better. The Hawaiian bobtail squid doesn't just passively house the bacteria, it actively manages its bacterial colony. Every morning as the sun rises, the squid expels about 95% of the bacteria from its light organ. This reduces the metabolic demands on the squid during the day when it's hiding in the sand. Then, as darkness falls, the remaining bacteria multiply rapidly, repopulating the light organ and restoring the squid's bioluminescent camouflage. It's an amazing example of coordinated behavior between a host organism and its symbiotic bacteria. And the Hawaiian bobtail squid isn't alone. Many other marine organisms rely on bioluminescent bacteria for a variety of purposes. Deep-sea anglerfish, for example, use a bioluminescent lure to attract prey. This lure, located on a modified dorsal fin ray, is filled with bioluminescent bacteria that emit a tempting glow in the darkness. Unsuspecting fish, drawn to the light, swim closer to investigate and become easy meals for the anglerfish. It's a clever hunting strategy that relies entirely on the symbiotic relationship with bacteria. Lanternfish, another common deep-sea fish, use rows of bioluminescent photophores on their bellies for counter-illumination, just like the Hawaiian bobtail squid. These photophores are packed with bioluminescent bacteria, providing the fish with a constant source of camouflage. Some species of deep-sea squid even use bioluminescent bacteria in their ink sacs. When threatened, they release a cloud of glowing ink, confusing predators and giving them a chance to escape. It's like a bacterial smokescreen. But why do the bacteria do it? What's in it for them? Well, as we've already discussed, the host organism provides the bacteria with a safe environment and a steady supply of nutrients. In the light organ, the bacteria are protected from predators, competitors, and the harsh conditions of the open ocean. But there's also evidence that the bacteria benefit from the coordinated behavior of the host organism. For example, the expulsion of bacteria from the Hawaiian bobtail squid's light organ may help to disperse the bacteria into the surrounding water, allowing them to colonize new hosts. The bacteria also produce autoendosers. These are signaling molecules that the bacteria use to communicate with each other. When the population density of bacteria reaches a certain threshold, the autoendosers trigger the bioluminescence genes, causing the bacteria to start glowing. This is called quorum sensing. Quorum sensing also allows them to control and regulate their own population inside the light organ. Quorum sensing is crucial for the symbiotic relationship to work effectively. If the bacteria were to glow constantly, regardless of their population density, it would be a waste of energy. By only glowing when they're present in sufficient numbers, the bacteria can conserve energy and maximize their impact. The study of bioluminescent bacteria and their symbiotic relationships is a fascinating field, and there's still much that we don't understand. But one thing is clear: these tiny organisms play a vital role in the ecology of the ocean. They're the unseen architects of the light show, the powerhouses behind some of the most amazing displays of bioluminescence in the marine world. And they remind us that even the smallest creatures can have a big impact. So next time you see a picture of a glowing anglerfish or a shimmering squid, remember the tiny bacteria that are making it all possible. They're a testament to the power of symbiosis and the incredible diversity of life in the ocean. They aren't just germs. They're tiny living light bulbs working together for the benefit of all. Have you ever looked out at the ocean at night and seen what looks like a shimmering ethereal dance of light? A million tiny sparks twinkling across the surface? That, my friends, is often the work of plankton, specifically bioluminescent plankton. And it's a sight that truly embodies the magic hidden within our oceans. Now, when we think of plankton, we often picture those microscopic organisms drifting aimlessly, serving as food for bigger creatures. And that's certainly true. They're the base of the marine food web. They are so much more than just fish food. They are, in many cases, living, breathing, glowing light bulbs. The bioluminescence we see in plankton is a result of a fascinating chemical reaction. 1. That involves a molecule called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. When these two interact in the presence of oxygen, they produce light. It's a beautiful, efficient process. And it's happening on a massive scale all over the world. But let's break down the players in this microscopic light show. The most common culprits behind these dazzling displays are dinoflagellates. Single-celled organisms are a type of phytoplankton, meaning they're photosynthetic, using sunlight to create energy. But when disturbed, they emit a flash of blue-green light. Imagine millions, billions of these tiny dynamos scattered across the water. A passing boat, a breaking wave, even the movement of a fish can trigger this collective response, creating a wave of light that spreads across the surface. It's like a chain reaction of tiny sparks, illuminating the water in a breathtaking spectacle. And the reasons behind this light production. That's where it gets interesting. One leading theory is that it's a defense mechanism, a sort of burglar alarm for the ocean. When a predator approaches, the dinoflagellates flash, potentially startling the predator, or even attracting larger predators that might prey on the original attacker. It's like screaming for help in a world of darkness. A tiny scream in the form of light. But dinoflagellates aren't the only planktonic performers in this bioluminescent ballet. Copepods, small crustaceans that are also a vital part of the plankton community, also contribute to the underwater light show. Some copepods are able to produce their own bioluminescence, while others ingest bioluminescent organisms and use their light for their own purposes. Think of it as borrowing light from their food. Some copepods will actually regurgitate a cloud of bioluminescent material when threatened, creating a distracting decoy that allows them to escape. It's like a tiny smoke screen, but instead of smoke, it's made of light. Other planktonic organisms, like certain types of jellyfish larvae, also possess bioluminescent capabilities. These tiny jellyfish, often no bigger than a pinhead, can emit their own faint glow, adding to the complexity and beauty of the overall display. Now, what's truly incredible is the scale of these bioluminescent events. In certain areas of the world, under the right conditions, these planktonic blooms can stretch for miles, creating vast luminous seas. These are often referred to as milky seas. They've been described by sailors for centuries. Imagine sailing through a sea that glows with its own internal light, a sea that seems to be made of liquid stars. It's a truly inspiring experience, one that connects you to the raw power and beauty of the natural world. These displays are not just beautiful, they're also ecologically significant. Bioluminescence plays a crucial role in marine food webs, influencing predator-prey interactions and contributing to the overall dynamics of the ecosystem. It also plays a role in the vertical migration of plankton, as they may use light to attract mates or find food in the deeper, darker waters. Observing these planktonic light shows, however, presents its own set of challenges. Bioluminescence is often faint and fleeting, and it can be easily disrupted by artificial light. This is why these displays are best observed in areas with minimal light pollution, far from city lights and boats. You often have to be in a perfect location and time to witness this natural wonder, even with the right conditions. Capturing these events on camera can be difficult. Bioluminescence is often too dim for standard cameras to pick up, requiring specialized equipment and techniques. But the results, when successful, are stunning. Photos and videos of bioluminescent plankton reveal a hidden world of vibrant color and otherworldly beauty. But the real magic, in my opinion, is experiencing it firsthand. To be surrounded by a sea of light, to feel the gentle glow emanating from the water is an experience that stays with you. It's a reminder that even the smallest organisms can create something truly extraordinary, that even in the darkest depths, there is light, and that our planet is full of secrets waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you're near the ocean at night, take a moment to look closely at the water. You might just be lucky enough to witness this incredible display of bioluminescence. And when you do, remember that you're not just seeing a pretty light show. You're witnessing a complex and fascinating ecological phenomenon, a testament to the power and beauty of the microscopic world. You're seeing the secret life of the sea. All right, let's talk about bioluminescent bays. Imagine standing on a beach, the air thick with the scent of salt, and the rhythmic crash of waves your only companion. But this isn't just any beach. This is a place where the water itself comes alive, shimmering with an ethereal glow. These aren't just stories or legends. These are real places where you can witness nature's most spectacular light shows. These places, these bioluminescent bays and lagoons, are scattered around the globe. Each one is unique, offering a different intensity and color of light, driven by specific combinations of factors. They're also fragile ecosystems, so we must tread carefully and respect them. But first, let's visit some of the most incredible examples. Think of Mosquito Bay in VX. Puerto Rico, often considered the brightest bioluminescent bay in the world, it's truly something special. I remember the first time I saw it. It wasn't just seeing the light, it was feeling the magic. Every stroke of the paddle in my kayak, every ripple on the surface, ignited a burst of blue light. It was like painting with stars on the water. This incredible brightness is thanks to an incredibly high concentration of dinoflagellates, specifically Pyrodinium bahamense. Millions upon millions of these tiny organisms, packed into a relatively small area, create an unbelievable effect. The narrow entrance to the bay helps trap these organisms, preventing them from being dispersed by ocean currents. Add to that the protection from strong winds and waves provided by the surrounding mangroves. You have the perfect conditions for a bioluminescent explosion. Now, let's journey to Jamaica, to the luminous lagoon near Falmouth. This lagoon is different. The water here is a bit warmer, and the dinoflagellates are of a different species, creating a slightly greener hue. What's interesting about the luminous lagoon is its history. It's situated at the point where the Martha Brae River meets the Caribbean Sea. The mixture of fresh and salt water creates a brackish environment that's ideal for these organisms. Plus, the shallow depth of the lagoon allows sunlight to penetrate, fueling the dinoflagellates' growth. You can actually swim in the luminous lagoon, and the experience is otherworldly. As you move through the water, you're surrounded by a cloud of light like swimming through liquid stars. Next, we venture to Halong Bay in Vietnam, a UNESCO World Heritage Site famed for its stunning limestone karsts and emerald waters. While not as consistently bright as Mosquito Bay or the luminous lagoon, certain areas of Halong Bay experience impressive bioluminescence. The light here is often observed after periods of heavy rain, when nutrient runoff from the surrounding islands fuels the growth of dinoflagellates. Kayaking through these illuminated waters, with the towering limestone formations silhouetted against the night sky, is a truly unforgettable experience. What makes Halong Bay so special is the sheer scale of the landscape combined with the ephemeral beauty of the bioluminescence. It's a humbling reminder of the power and beauty of nature. There are bioluminescent displays found in Mission Bay, California, and Carlsbad, CA, but their predictability is a major factor. Of course, the brilliance of these bioluminescent bays isn't just about the presence of dinoflagellates. It's about a delicate balance of factors that all contribute to creating the perfect conditions for a light show. Water temperature plays a crucial role. Dinoflagellates thrive in specific temperature ranges, and changes in water temperature can affect their growth and bioluminescent activity. Nutrient levels are also critical. These organisms need nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus to grow and reproduce, and the availability of these nutrients can significantly impact the intensity of the bioluminescence. Water salinity is another important factor. Dinoflagellates are sensitive to changes in salinity. Variations in salinity can affect their survival and bioluminescent capacity. Then there's the issue of light pollution. Artificial light from nearby cities and towns can drown out the natural glow of bioluminescence, making it harder to see. That's why the darkest bays, far from urban areas, often exhibit the most spectacular displays. But as magical as these places are, they are under threat. Pollution, coastal development, and climate change all pose significant risks to these fragile ecosystems. Runoff from agriculture and sewage can introduce excess nutrients into the water, leading to algal blooms that can suffocate dinoflagellates and disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Coastal development can destroy mangrove forests and other habitats that provide shelter and nutrients for these organisms. And climate change is causing changes in water temperature and salinity, which can also impact dinoflagellates. Witnessing bioluminescence is more than just seeing a pretty light. It's about connecting with the natural world on a deeply personal level. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all living things and understanding the importance of protecting these fragile ecosystems. It is an experience that leaves you with a sense of wonder and a renewed appreciation for the beauty and complexity of our planet. The ocean's depths, a realm of perpetual twilight, harbor a secret beauty: bioluminescence. These shimmering displays of light aren't just pretty, they're vital to the survival of countless species. But this delicate dance of light and darkness is under threat, and the culprit is us. Our activities, often unseen and unnoticed, are casting a long shadow on these luminous ecosystems. We're talking about pollution, climate change, ocean acidification, and overfishing, each playing a part in diminishing the ocean's natural glow. Let's start with pollution, a broad term encompassing a vast array of harmful substances entering our oceans. From plastic debris to chemical runoff, the consequences for bioluminescent organisms are far-reaching. Think about it. These creatures are finely tuned to their environment. They rely on specific light wavelengths and intensities for communication, hunting, and defense. But when pollutants cloud the water, these signals become distorted, muffled, or even completely blocked. Imagine trying to have a conversation in a crowded, noisy room. That's what it's like for a bioluminescent fish trying to signal a mate in polluted waters. The noise of human-caused light pollution further exacerbates the problem, disorienting creatures that rely on natural darkness to survive. Coastal cities ablaze with artificial light spill over into the ocean, disrupting the delicate balance of light and darkness that these organisms depend on. Many species are now having difficulty reproducing successfully. Then there's climate change, a global phenomenon with profound consequences for the ocean. As the planet warms, ocean temperatures rise, and this can directly impact bioluminescent organisms. Many species have a narrow range of temperature tolerance. Even slight changes can disrupt their metabolism, reproduction, and overall survival. Warmer waters also hold less oxygen, creating dead zones where marine life struggles to survive. These oxygen-depleted areas can decimate populations of bioluminescent bacteria, which are essential to the entire food web. These bacteria are at the bottom of the food chain and are responsible for almost every bioluminescent organism in the ocean. Some can even create their own light via symbiotic processes. Ocean acidification, a direct consequence of increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, poses another significant threat. As the ocean absorbs CO2, its pH level decreases, making it more acidic. This acidification makes it harder for marine organisms to build and maintain their shells and skeletons, but the impact extends beyond shell-forming creatures. Studies have shown that ocean acidification can also affect the chemical reactions behind bioluminescence. The enzymes involved in light production, like luciferase, can be sensitive to pH changes. As the ocean becomes more acidic, these enzymes may become less efficient, resulting in weaker or less frequent bioluminescent displays. Plankton, for example, use bioluminescence as a defense mechanism. If they can no longer do so, they risk extinction, which then carries down the food chain, and then we get to overfishing. practice that not only depletes fish populations, but also disrupts entire ecosystems. Many bioluminescent organisms are part of the marine food web, serving as prey for larger fish and predators for smaller creatures. When we remove key species through overfishing, we disrupt this delicate balance. Imagine a building where you remove the central supporting beam. The whole thing is bound to come crashing down sooner or later. Overfishing can create ripple effects throughout the ecosystem, impacting bioluminescent organisms in unexpected ways. Removing predatory fish can lead to an overabundance of their prey, which in turn can deplete populations of bioluminescent organisms. The impact isn't just limited to the open ocean. Coastal habitats, like coral reefs and mangrove forests, are also vital to the health of bioluminescent ecosystems. These habitats serve as nurseries for many marine species, including those that rely on bioluminescence. But these coastal ecosystems are increasingly threatened by pollution, development, and climate change. We destroy the base, and we destroy everything that lives there, including the bioluminescent species. The consequences of diminishing bioluminescence are far-reaching. It's not just about losing a beautiful light show. It's about disrupting the intricate web of life that sustains our oceans. Bioluminescence plays a crucial role in everything from nutrient cycling to carbon sequestration. Without it, the oceans' ability to regulate our planet's climate and provide essential resources would be severely compromised. We must wake up to the fact that our actions have consequences. The ocean isn't an infinite resource. It's a delicate ecosystem that is vulnerable to our impact. We need to reduce pollution, mitigate climate change, and manage our fisheries sustainably. Protecting bioluminescent ecosystems is not just about preserving a natural wonder. It's about safeguarding the health of our planet and ensuring a sustainable future for all. It's about recognizing that we are all connected and that the fate of the ocean is inextricably linked to our own. Imagine a world of shimmering light. It's not cast by the sun or moon, but born from the ocean itself. This is the world of bioluminescence, a secret language spoken in flashes and glows, a symphony of light played out in the darkest depths. But what happens when this delicate symphony is disrupted, when the ocean's orchestra is forced to play with broken instruments? That, my friends, is where the plastic problem enters our story. We've all seen the images, the heartbreaking pictures of seabirds entangled in plastic rings, of turtles mistaking plastic bags for jellyfish. But the tragedy extends far beyond what we can readily see. It reaches into the very heart of the bioluminescent web, threatening to unravel the delicate connections that sustain life in the ocean. Plastic, as we know, is everywhere. It's in our homes, our cars, our clothing. And tragically, it's also in our oceans. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste enter the marine environment, carried by rivers, blown by the wind, dumped from ships. This plastic doesn't just disappear. It persists, breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces, eventually becoming what we call microplastics, tiny particles, often invisible to the naked eye. And these microplastics, my friends, are where the real trouble begins for bioluminescent organisms. Many of these creatures, especially the smaller ones like plankton and krill, are filter feeders. They consume tiny particles suspended in the water, unknowingly ingesting microplastics alongside their natural food. Imagine trying to eat a nutritious meal, but finding it laced with indigestible toxic fragments. That's the reality faced by countless bioluminescent organisms. But the problem isn't just physical ingestion. Plastics, as they break down, leach harmful chemicals into the surrounding water. These chemicals can interfere with the delicate chemical reactions that produce bioluminescence, dimming the lights, silencing the symphony. Think of it like pouring sludge into a finely tuned engine. It gums up the works, preventing it from functioning properly. Furthermore, these chemicals can accumulate in the tissues of bioluminescent organisms, causing a range of health problems. They can disrupt hormone function, impair reproduction, and weaken the immune system, making these creatures more vulnerable to disease and predation. It's a cruel irony. Organisms that rely on light for defense are being weakened, and made more vulnerable by a substance that blocks out the sun's rays. And the impacts don't stop there. Remember, bioluminescence plays a crucial role in communication, hunting, and defense. When bioluminescent organisms are affected by plastic pollution, these essential functions are compromised. Predators that rely on bioluminescent lures may find their lights dimmed, making it harder to attract prey. Prey that use bioluminescent displays to startle predators may find their defenses weakened, making them more vulnerable to attack. And organisms that use bioluminescence to communicate with each other may find their signals garbled, disrupting mating rituals and social interactions. The consequences ripple through the entire food web. If plankton and krill, the foundation of many marine ecosystems, are affected by plastic pollution, the effects cascade upwards, impacting larger organisms that depend on them for food, including fish, seabirds, and marine mammals. Consider the deep-sea anglerfish, a master of bioluminescent deception. Its lure, a dangling bioluminescent appendage, is perfectly designed to attract unsuspecting prey in the dark depths. But what happens when the anglerfish's prey, small fish and crustaceans, are already contaminated with microplastics and toxic chemicals? The anglerfish ingests these pollutants, accumulating them in its own tissues. What happens when a larger predator, perhaps a deep-sea shark, preys on the anglerfish? The pollutants continue to accumulate, moving up the food chain, eventually reaching top predators, and even potentially ending up on our own dinner plates. The story of the vampire squid, a creature that uses bioluminescent mucus as a defense mechanism, is equally concerning. If the vampire squid's ability to produce and deploy this bioluminescent smokescreen is impaired by plastic pollution, it becomes more vulnerable to predators, disrupting the delicate balance of its ecosystem. We are only beginning to understand the full extent of the damage caused by plastic pollution on bioluminescent ecosystems. But what we do know is deeply concerning. It's a silent crisis unfolding in the ocean depths, a gradual dimming of the lights that threatens to unravel the intricate web of life. It's not just about the cute dolphins and sea turtles that we see struggling with plastic debris. It's about the countless, often unseen, bioluminescent organisms that form the foundation of marine ecosystems. It's about the delicate balance of nature, the interconnectedness of all living things. We need to act. We need to reduce our reliance on single-use plastics. We need to improve our waste management systems. We need to invest in research to better understand the impacts of plastic pollution on marine life. We need to support organizations working to clean up our oceans. The fate of the ocean's luminous web, the fate of these incredible bioluminescent organisms rests in our hands. Let's choose to protect the spark, to preserve the symphony of light, to ensure that future generations can marvel at the wonders of the deep sea. Let's turn the tide on plastic pollution before it's too late. Let us choose to heal the world and let that world shine, okay? So we've seen how bioluminescence helps organisms thrive in the darkness. But what happens when that darkness changes? When the very chemistry of the ocean shifts in ways that make it harder for life to survive? That's where ocean acidification comes in, and it paints a pretty dim picture, literally. For the future of bioluminescence.uc, the ocean isn't just water, it's a delicate chemical balance. And that balance is being thrown off by something we're doing on land, burning fossil fuels. When we burn coal, oil, and gas, we release huge amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. A lot of that CO2, around 30%, doesn't stay in the air. It gets absorbed by the ocean. Now you might think, okay, the ocean's big, it can handle it. But here's the problem. When CO2 dissolves in seawater, it doesn't just disappear. It reacts with the water to form carbonic acid. That's what causes ocean acidification. Think of it like this. You're adding a bunch of lemon juice to a swimming pool. The pool doesn't instantly turn into lemonade, but the water becomes more acidic. And the same thing is happening to the ocean, just on a much, much larger scale. Since the Industrial Revolution, the ocean's acidity has increased by about 30%. That might not sound like much, but it's happening at an unprecedented rate. And it's having profound consequences for marine life. So how does this affect bioluminescence? Well, it's not a simple direct cause and effect relationship. Ocean acidification is more like a slow poison, weakening the entire ecosystem and making it harder for bioluminescent organisms to survive and thrive. Let's start with the basics. Many marine organisms, including some that use bioluminescence, rely on calcium carbonate to build their shells and skeletons. Think of things like corals, shellfish, and even tiny plankton called coccolithophores. Calcium carbonate is like the building blocks of their homes. But here's the catch. As the ocean becomes more acidic, it becomes harder for these organisms to extract calcium carbonate from the water. The increased acidity essentially dissolves the calcium carbonate. It's making it harder to build and maintain their shells and skeletons. This is a process known as calcium carbonate undersaturation. Now you might be thinking, what does this have to do with bioluminescence? Well, remember that these calcifying organisms, especially plankton, are at the base of the food web. Many bioluminescent creatures like copepods and krill feed on these plankton. If the plankton are struggling to survive due to acidification, it creates a ripple effect up the food chain. The bioluminescent organisms that depend on them for food will also suffer. Less food means less energy, which can affect their ability to produce light, reproduce, and defend themselves. But the impact doesn't stop there. Ocean acidification can also affect the chemical reactions that produce bioluminescence itself. Remember luciferin and luciferase? These molecules need to be in a very specific chemical environment to react and produce light. Changes in pH levels caused by acidification can alter the structure and function of these molecules, making them less efficient or even completely inactive. Imagine trying to light a match in a damp room. It just won't work properly. Similarly, ocean acidification can dampen the bioluminescent spark in marine organisms. Furthermore, ocean acidification can indirectly affect bioluminescence by altering the composition and structure of marine ecosystems. For example, coral reefs, which are biodiversity hotspots, are particularly vulnerable to acidification. As corals struggle to survive, the entire reef ecosystem can collapse, taking with it the bioluminescent organisms that live there. Many organisms use coral reefs for shelter and protection. The loss of those reefs can mean less places to live, less places to hide from predators, and ultimately, less bioluminescent creatures. Consider dinoflagellates, those tiny plankton responsible for creating those mesmerizing bioluminescent bays we talked about earlier. Studies have shown that ocean acidification can reduce the intensity and duration of their bioluminescent flashes. This could disrupt their ability to communicate with each other, attract mates, and deter predators. Imagine a bioluminescent bay where the lights are dimmer and less frequent. It wouldn't be quite the same magical experience, would it? And it's not just the intensity of the light that's affected. Acidification can also alter the wavelength of the light produced by bioluminescent organisms. Wavelength affects the color of the light, and if the color changes, it can disrupt communication signals. Imagine trying to send a text message on a phone that's changing the words. It would be pretty difficult to get your message across. The bottom line is this: ocean acidification is a complex and multifaceted problem that poses a significant threat to bioluminescent organisms and the ecosystems they inhabit. It's not just about making the ocean more acidic, it's about disrupting the delicate chemical balance that sustains life in the sea. And as that balance shifts, the ocean's hidden light show risks becoming dimmer, less vibrant, and ultimately less magical. We're still in the early stages of understanding the full impact, but the trends are clear. The future of bioluminescence depends on our ability to address the root cause of ocean acidification, our reliance on fossil fuels. We need to transition to cleaner energy sources, reduce our carbon emissions, and protect our oceans from further harm. Because if we don't, we risk losing not just a beautiful spectacle, but a vital part of the marine ecosystem. Would be a tragedy for all of us. Okay. So we've been exploring this incredible world of bioluminescence, from the tiniest plankton flashing in unison to the elaborate lures of deep-sea predators. But what happens when we take that wonder, that awe, and we apply it to something, well, human? something we build? You might be surprised to learn just how profoundly the ocean's glow has inspired our own scientific and technological advancements. Think about it. For centuries, light has been a limiting factor. Fire was revolutionary, then the light bulb, and now LEDs. But the quest for efficient, sustainable, and incredibly precise light sources continues. And nature, as it often does, has already solved the problem, albeit on a microscopic scale. One of the most significant areas where bioluminescence is making waves, pun intended, is medical imaging. Traditional imaging techniques like X-rays and MRs are powerful, but they can have limitations. X-rays use radiation, and MRs can be expensive and time-consuming. Bioluminescence offers a potentially gentler, more targeted alternative. Imagine being able to pinpoint the exact location of a tumor, or track the spread of an infection in real time without exposing the patient to harmful radiation. That's the promise of bioluminescent imaging, or BLI. Here's how it works. Scientists can genetically engineer cells, like cancer cells, to produce luciferase, the enzyme responsible for bioluminescence. They can then inject these cells into a living organism, often a mouse in preclinical studies, and track their movement using highly sensitive cameras. Because the light emitted is so faint, these cameras are designed to detect even the smallest signals, allowing researchers to visualize cellular processes with incredible precision. The applications are vast. BLI can be used to study cancer progression, drug efficacy, and even the effectiveness of gene therapies. It allows researchers to see how diseases develop and respond to treatment in a way that was simply impossible before. And the best part? It's non-invasive, meaning it doesn't require surgery or other invasive procedures. But it doesn't stop there. Bioluminescence is also revolutionizing biosensing. Think of biosensors as tiny biological detectives. They're designed to detect specific molecules or substances in a sample, and they can be used in a wide range of applications. From environmental monitoring to food safety, biosensors use, you guessed it, bioluminescence to signal the presence of a target substance. For example, scientists have developed biosensors that can detect pollutants in water. These sensors use genetically engineered bacteria that produce light when they come into contact with a specific pollutant. The brighter the light, the more pollutant is present. This technology could be a game changer for environmental monitoring, allowing us to quickly and easily assess the health of our waterways. It could also be used to detect pathogens in food, ensuring the safety of our food supply. The best part is, these biosensors are often portable, affordable, and easy to use, making them accessible to a wide range of users beyond medical. In environmental applications, bioluminescence is also inspiring innovation in sustainable lighting. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bioluminescent streetlights? That sounds like science fiction. And okay, maybe we're not quite there yet. But the potential is definitely there. Researchers are exploring ways to harness the power of bioluminescence to create energy-efficient lighting solutions. One approach involves using genetically engineered plants that glow. Imagine a world where our parks and gardens are illuminated by naturally glowing plants, reducing our reliance on electricity and minimizing light pollution. Another approach focuses on developing bioluminescent coatings that can be applied to surfaces, like walls or ceilings. These coatings would contain bioluminescent bacteria or enzymes that would emit a soft, ambient light. This could be particularly useful in areas where electricity is scarce or unreliable, providing a sustainable and affordable source of illumination. Of course, there are still challenges to overcome. Bioluminescent lighting is currently not as bright or as long-lasting as traditional lighting, and there are concerns about the environmental impact of releasing genetically engineered organisms into the environment. But the research is ongoing, and the potential benefits are simply too great to ignore. And let's not forget the purely aesthetic applications. Bioluminescence has inspired artists and designers to create stunning works of art and innovative products. From glowing sculptures to bioluminescent clothing, the possibilities are endless. It's a testament to the power of nature to inspire creativity and innovation. What's so cool about all of this is that we're not just copying nature, we're learning from it, We're understanding the fundamental principles behind bioluminescence and applying them to solve real-world problems. It's a process of biomimicry, where we look to nature for inspiration and guidance. By studying the intricate mechanisms of bioluminescence, we're gaining a deeper understanding of the chemistry of light, the biology of cells, and the interconnectedness of life on Earth. And that knowledge is empowering us to create a brighter, healthier, and more sustainable future. So, the next time you see a firefly flickering in the night, or you hear about a new breakthrough in medical imaging, remember, the oceans glow. Remember the tiny organisms that have been illuminating the darkness for millions of years? They're not just a beautiful spectacle. They're a source of inspiration, a testament to the power of nature, and a reminder that the solutions to our biggest challenges may already exist, hidden in the depths of the sea. Ever wondered what fish talk about down there? Or maybe those glowing jellyfish. It's probably not about the weather, I'd guess. But, believe it or not, they are talking. There, using a language written in light, and we're just beginning to learn how to read it. This is the secret language of bioluminescence, and understanding it is one of the biggest challenges, and most exciting frontiers in marine biology today. Think about it. Down in the deep, sunlight doesn't penetrate. It's a world of perpetual night. So, how do these creatures find each other? How do they warn each other of danger? How do they attract a mate in the inky blackness? More often than not, the answer is with light. But it's not just any light. It's carefully crafted, precisely timed, and species-specific light. It's communication. We've already touched on the basics. Luciferian luciferase, the whole chemical shebang. But the really fascinating thing is how they use that light. It's not just a random flash. It's a complex code, a visual language with its own grammar and syntax. And deciphering that code is a massive undertaking. One of the biggest hurdles we face is simply observing this communication in its natural context. Imagine trying to eavesdrop on a conversation in a crowded room, but you can only see snippets of what's happening, and you have no idea what the words mean. That's essentially what we're dealing with. Traditionally, scientists have relied on capturing specimens and studying their bioluminescence in the lab. That gives us a basic understanding of what kind of light they can produce. But it doesn't tell us much about why they produce it in the wild. Is it a mating call? A warning signal? Part of a coordinated group display? We just don't know for sure. That's where advanced technology comes in. Remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, are playing a crucial role. These underwater robots, equipped with high-sensitivity cameras and sophisticated sensors, allow us to observe bioluminescence in its natural environment without disturbing the creatures we're studying. Think of it like this. It's like going from trying to understand Shakespeare by only reading the dictionary to actually seeing the play performed on stage. The context matters. We can see when and where a particular bioluminescent display occurs. Is it during mating season? Is it in response to a predator? Is it part of a larger group display? Another key technology is advanced imaging. We're talking about cameras that can capture incredibly faint light. Sophisticated software that can analyze the patterns and rhythms of bioluminescent flashes. This allows us to distinguish between different types of signals and identify the unique characteristics of each. Imagine being able to slow down the blink of a firefly and analyze every subtle nuance of its light pattern. That's the level of detail we're aiming for. But technology is only half the battle. We also need to understand the behavior of the creatures themselves. We need to understand their social structures, their mating rituals, their predator-prey relationships. Because bioluminescence isn't just about light. It's about context. One of the most fascinating areas of research involves what we call quorum sensing in bioluminescent bacteria. These tiny organisms don't just glow randomly. They only produce light when they reach a certain population density. Think of it as a bacterial rave that only starts when enough friends arrive. But why? What's the point? Well, it turns out that this coordinated bioluminescence plays a crucial role in a variety of ecological processes. For example, some species of squid use bioluminescent bacteria to create a counter-illumination camouflage, effectively making themselves invisible to predators looking up from below. The squid provides a safe haven for the bacteria and the bacteria provide the light that keeps the squid safe. It's a symbiotic relationship written in light. But the communication doesn't stop there. We're also discovering that many marine organisms use bioluminescence to coordinate spawning events. Imagine thousands, even millions of individuals all releasing their eggs and sperm at the exact same time, creating a massive swirling cloud of bioluminescent light. It's a breathtaking spectacle. It's all orchestrated by this complex language of light. And here's where the real challenges begin. Can we predict spawning events by analyzing the bioluminescent signals? Can we use this information to protect vulnerable populations? The possibilities are endless. Of course, there are still many mysteries to unravel. For example, we know that some species of deep-sea fish have incredibly complex light organs. It's called photophores that can produce a wide range of colors and patterns, but we still don't fully understand what all those different signals mean. And are they using them to attract different types of prey? Are they using them to communicate with different individuals within their species? The answer, most likely, is both. And what about the complex bioluminescent displays of siphonophores? Those bizarre colonial creatures that look like long, glowing strings of Christmas lights? We know that these displays are used for communication, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what they're saying. Is it a warning signal? A mating call? Or something else entirely? Unlocking the secrets of bioluminescent communication is not just a scientific curiosity. It has real-world implications for conservation. By understanding how marine organisms use light to communicate, we can better protect them from the impacts of human activities. For example, light pollution from coastal cities can disrupt the natural bioluminescent displays that marine organisms rely on for mating and foraging. By reducing light pollution, we can help ensure that these creatures can continue to communicate effectively. Similarly, we can use our understanding of bioluminescence to develop more sustainable fishing practices. By avoiding areas where marine organisms are actively spawning, we can minimize the impact of fishing on vulnerable populations. We can even use bioluminescence to monitor the health of marine ecosystems. Changes in the intensity or frequency of bioluminescent displays can be an early warning sign of environmental stress, such as pollution or climate change. So, the next time you see a firefly blinking in the night, or a wave crashing on a bioluminescent beach, remember that you're witnessing a complex language, a conversation written in light, and we're just beginning to learn how to listen. Ocean secrets are waiting to be revealed, one bioluminescent flash at a time. And it's up to us to try and translate the language so we can learn more, because it is a language that protects, that lures, and that helps find love. It's one of the many hidden wonders of our planet, and we need to protect it. But even with all that is known, the ocean still holds secrets. Vast stretches of unexplored darkness where new bioluminescent wonders await discovery. It's like we've only just scratched the surface of a luminous iceberg. With untold brilliance hidden beneath, we've explored less than 5% of our ocean. Let that sink in for a moment. Less than 5% of this massive life-sustaining ecosystem has been directly observed. The deep sea, in particular, remains a frontier more alien than the surface of Mars. It's a realm of crushing pressure, perpetual darkness, and extreme temperatures. Conditions that make exploration incredibly challenging and therefore ripe for future discovery. And within these unexplored depths, the potential for finding new bioluminescent species and phenomena is simply staggering. Think about it. Every deep-sea expedition, every submersible dive, every remotely operated vehicle RAV deployment brings back images and data that rewrite our understanding of marine life and behavior. Consider the recent discoveries made in the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the world's oceans, equipped with specialized cameras and sensors. Scientists have captured footage of previously unknown bioluminescent jellyfish, their bodies adorned with intricate patterns of light. They've witnessed bioluminescent sea cucumbers that crawl along the abyssal plain, leaving shimmering trails in their wake. Creatures so alien, they look like they came from another planet. These aren't just isolated incidents either. Researchers are constantly uncovering new examples of bioluminescence in unexpected places. From the Arctic to the Antarctic, from the coral reefs of the tropics to the hydrothermal vents of the deep sea. The ocean is teeming with organisms that produce light in ways we never imagined. And it's not just the discovery of new species that's exciting. It's also the observation of new bioluminescent behaviors. Scientists are starting to understand how these organisms use light to communicate, hunt, defend themselves, and reproduce in the darkness. We're essentially cracking the code of a language. Spoken in light, learning the intricate nuances of bioluminescent communication. Take, for example, the work being done on deep-sea squid. Using advanced imaging techniques, researchers have observed squid species that can control the intensity, color, and pattern of their bioluminescence. With incredible precision, they can create complex displays to attract mates, confuse predators, or coordinate group behavior. It's like watching a silent opera unfold in the dark depths of the ocean. Or consider the ongoing research on siphonophores, those gelatinous colonial organisms that drift through the water column like living fireworks. Scientists are discovering that siphonophores use bioluminescence in coordinated displays to attract prey. Creating dazzling light shows that lure unsuspecting creatures into their tentacles. It's a masterful example of deception in the deep sea, and these discoveries are just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. As technology advances and we gain access to new and improved tools, the pace of discovery is only going to accelerate. We're on the cusp of a bioluminescent revolution, a period of unprecedented understanding of the ocean's hidden light. Imagine a future where we can map the distribution of bioluminescent organisms in real time. Using underwater drones equipped with highly sensitive light detectors, picture ourselves deciphering the complex communication signals of deep-sea creatures, understanding the messages they're sending to each other in the language of light. Envision harnessing the power of bioluminescence for practical applications, such as developing new biosensors, creating sustainable lighting solutions, or even using bioluminescent bacteria to monitor pollution levels in the ocean. The possibilities are endless, limited only by our imagination and our willingness to explore the unknown. But we need to remember that this exploration needs to be done responsibly. That's why it's crucial that we approach the exploration of the deep sea with caution and respect. We need to minimize our impact on these fragile ecosystems, ensuring that we're not disrupting the delicate balance of life in the darkness. That means developing sustainable exploration practices, implementing strict environmental regulations, and investing in research to understand the long-term consequences of our actions. The future of bioluminescence research depends on collaboration, requires scientists from diverse fields working together, sharing data, and pooling their expertise. Biologists, oceanographers, engineers, chemists, and even computer scientists all have a role to play in unraveling the mysteries of the ocean's hidden light. The deep sea is not just a place of darkness and mystery, it's also a treasure trove of biological and ecological wonders. It's a reminder of the incredible diversity of life on our planet, and the importance of protecting these fragile ecosystems for future generations. It's a call to wonder, a challenge to explore, and a responsibility to conserve. So as we continue to venture into the unknown, let's remember the words of the great ocean explorer, Sylvia Earle. No water, no life, no blue, no green. The ocean is the lifeblood of our planet, and bioluminescence is one of its most captivating secrets. It's up to us to protect this luminous heritage, ensuring that the ocean's hidden light continues to shine for millennia to come. So how do we protect these shimmering ecosystems? It's a complex challenge, but it starts with understanding the threats. Pollution, climate change, ocean acidification, destructive fishing practices, they all cast a shadow on the future of bioluminescence. Think of it like this. A bioluminescent bay is a delicate garden, and we're the gardeners. But instead of tending to it with care, we've been letting weeds grow wild, polluting the soil, and disrupting the natural balance. It's time for a change. One of the biggest problems is, well, us. Human activity on and near the coast can have a devastating impact on these fragile environments. Runoff from agriculture, sewage discharge, and industrial waste all contribute to pollution, smothering bioluminescent organisms, and disrupting the chemical balance they rely on. Imagine trying to breathe in a room filled with smoke. That's what it's like for these creatures when their habitat becomes polluted. Then there's climate change, the overarching threat that looms over all marine ecosystems. As the ocean absorbs excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it becomes more acidic. This ocean acidification makes it harder for many marine organisms, including those that rely on bioluminescence, to build and maintain their shells and skeletons. It also affects the chemical reactions that produce light, potentially dimming the ocean's glow. It's like slowly turning down the dimmer. Switch on the underwater light show, and let's not forget overfishing and destructive fishing practices. Trawling, for example, can destroy entire bioluminescent habitats, disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. It's like bulldozing a forest to catch a few squirrels. The short-term gain simply isn't worth the long-term damage. So what can we do? Well, the good news is that there are many conservation strategies that can help protect bioluminescent ecosystems. It starts with reducing pollution, implementing stricter regulations on industrial waste, improving sewage treatment, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices can all help to clean up our coastal waters. It's about being responsible stewards of the land and sea. Another key step is establishing marine protected areas, or MPAs. These are designated areas where fishing and other destructive activities are restricted or prohibited, allowing bioluminescent ecosystems to recover and thrive. Think of them as underwater parks where marine life can flourish undisturbed. These areas give our bioluminescent friends a much-needed safe haven. But conservation isn't just about protecting existing habitats. It's also about restoring damaged ones. This can involve removing pollution, replanting seagrass beds, and restoring coastal wetlands. It's like giving a neglected garden a makeover, tending to the soil, pulling out the weeds, and planting new seeds. And then there's sustainable tourism. Bioluminescent bays are a major tourist attraction, but unregulated tourism can also damage these fragile ecosystems. Promoting responsible tourism practices, such as limiting the number of visitors, educating tourists about the importance of conservation, and encouraging the use of eco-friendly transportation, can help to minimize the impact of tourism on bioluminescent habitats. It's about finding a balance between enjoying these natural wonders and protecting them for future generations. It's about ensuring we don't love these places to death. Education is also crucial. Raising awareness about the importance of bioluminescence and the threats it faces can inspire people to take action. By sharing the wonder and beauty of these hidden worlds, we can encourage others to become advocates for conservation. It's about igniting a spark of curiosity and inspiring a sense of responsibility. The more people who understand and appreciate these ecosystems, the more likely we are to protect them. But perhaps the most important thing we can do is to embrace sustainable practices in our everyday lives. This means reducing our carbon footprint, conserving water, using less plastic, and supporting businesses that are committed to sustainability. It's about making conscious choices that minimize our impact on the environment. Even small changes can make a big difference. Protecting bioluminescent ecosystems isn't just about preserving a pretty light show. It's about protecting the health of our oceans and the planet as a whole. These ecosystems play a crucial role in the marine food web, and their health is essential for the survival of countless other species, including our own. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and that the fate of bioluminescence is intertwined with our own. And let's not forget the potential for future discoveries. By protecting these ecosystems, we're also preserving the opportunity to learn more about the mysteries of bioluminescence. Who knows what secrets these hidden worlds hold? What new species and behaviors might we uncover? What insights might we gain into the workings of life itself? The possibilities are endless. Conservation is an ongoing process, and it requires a collective effort. It's not something that governments or scientists can do alone. It requires the participation of individuals, communities, and businesses. It requires a willingness to change our habits and adopt more sustainable practices. It requires a commitment to protecting the planet for future generations. It's about seeing ourselves as part of something bigger and acting accordingly. So, let's become guardians of the glow. Let's protect these shimmering ecosystems and ensure that the ocean's hidden light continues to shine for years to come. Let's choose wonder over waste, sustainability over short-term gain, and a future where the beauty and magic of bioluminescence can inspire us all. It's time to step up, to take action, and to protect the spark. All right, so we've explored the mesmerizing world of bioluminescence, from its chemical underpinnings to its ecological significance. We've even touched on how human activities are impacting this natural wonder. But what about the future? What's next in our quest to understand the ocean's glow? Well, buckle up because things are about to get really interesting. One of the most promising areas of research involves advanced imaging techniques. For years, studying bioluminescence has been a challenge. Simply because it's so faint and often occurs in the deep sea, a place notoriously difficult to access. Traditional methods, like underwater cameras and remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, have given us glimpses, but they're limited. They can disturb the environment, scare away sensitive organisms, and often lack the sensitivity needed to capture the full spectrum of bioluminescent displays. But things are changing. Scientists are now developing sophisticated imaging systems that can detect even the faintest flickers of light from vast distances. Think of it like upgrading from a standard definition TV to a state-of-the-art, high-resolution night vision camera. These new instruments use things like intensified charge-coupled devices, or ICCDs, and electron-multiplying CCDs, or EMCCDs. These fancy acronyms essentially mean they can amplify the light signal, making it possible to see bioluminescence that would otherwise be invisible. And it's not just about seeing more, it's about seeing differently. Some researchers are using hyperspectral imaging, which captures light across a wide range of wavelengths, to analyze the unique spectral signatures of different bioluminescent reactions. This could help us identify new species, understand the chemical composition of their light-producing molecules, even track how bioluminescence changes in response to environmental factors. Imagine being able to pinpoint the exact wavelengths of light a specific anglerfish uses to lure its prey, or decipher the secret code hidden within a jellyfish's glowing patterns. Another exciting development is the use of bioluminescent reporters. In vivo. In vivo means within the living. This technique involves genetically engineering cells or organisms to produce bioluminescence when specific genes are expressed, or when certain biological processes occur. It's like turning the ocean into a giant living laboratory, where we can observe biological processes in real time and in their natural context. For example, scientists could engineer marine bacteria to glow when they encounter pollutants, creating a living biosensor that can detect contamination. Or they could insert bioluminescent genes into marine animals to track their movements, study their behavior, and assess the impact of climate change on their populations. The possibilities are truly endless, and of course, we can't talk about the future of bioluminescence research without mentioning genetics. The study of bioluminescence at the molecular level is opening up entirely new avenues for discovery. By sequencing the genomes of bioluminescent organisms, scientists are identifying the genes responsible for producing luciferase, and other key components of the bioluminescent system. This is providing us with a deeper understanding of how these systems evolved, how they're regulated, and how they differ across species. But it's not just about understanding the genes themselves. It's about understanding how they interact with each other and with the environment. Researchers are using techniques like transcriptomics and proteomics to study the complete set of RNA transcripts and proteins produced by bioluminescent organisms. This is allowing them to paint a much more detailed picture of the complex molecular pathways that govern bioluminescence. And what about creating new bioluminescent systems? Synthetic biology is a rapidly growing field that aims to design and build new biological parts, devices, and systems. Scientists are now exploring the possibility of creating artificial bioluminescent systems from scratch, using synthetic luciferants. And luciferases? This could have a wide range of applications, from creating new bioimaging tools to developing sustainable lighting solutions. Imagine cities illuminated by the gentle glow of bioluminescent trees, or hospitals using bioluminescent nanoparticles to diagnose diseases. The exploration of the deep sea is crucial. It is the least explored realm on the planet and likely houses a wealth of bioluminescent species and phenomena that we haven't even begun to imagine. Submersibles equipped with advanced sensors and imaging systems are allowing us to venture into these extreme environments and witness bioluminescence firsthand. We're discovering new species, observing new behaviors, and uncovering new secrets about the deep sea. It's like stepping onto an alien planet right here on Earth. And then there's the interdisciplinary approach. No single field of science holds all the answers. Understanding bioluminescence requires a collaborative effort involving biologists, chemists, physicists, engineers, and even computer scientists. By bringing together diverse expertise, we can tackle the complex challenges of bioluminescence research from multiple angles, accelerating the pace of discovery. For instance, engineers are developing new underwater vehicles that can operate autonomously for extended periods of time, collecting data on bioluminescence in remote and inaccessible areas. Computer scientists are developing sophisticated algorithms to analyze the vast amounts of data generated by these vehicles, identifying patterns and trends that would be impossible to detect manually. The key is to combine the power of technology with the knowledge of the natural world. All of these technological advances open many doors to understanding the intricate complexities of the ocean. We can begin to ask more meaningful questions and find the answers more quickly. One of the major questions will remain why animals have come to develop this ability and how the advantages benefit the ocean world. It's a bit like learning a new language. Once we understand the grammar and vocabulary of bioluminescence, we can begin to decipher the messages it conveys, unlocking the secrets of marine communication and behavior. So, what does all of this mean for the future? It means that we're on the cusp of a bioluminescence revolution. The next few decades promise to bring a wealth of new discoveries. As we unlock the secrets of the ocean's glow and harness its power, for the benefit of humanity, we'll gain a deeper understanding of the marine ecosystem, develop new technologies for medical imaging and environmental monitoring, and perhaps even create a more sustainable future inspired by the wonders of nature. It's a future filled with light, literally and figuratively. And it's a future that we can all be a part of by supporting scientific research, promoting ocean conservation, simply taking the time to appreciate the beauty and wonder of the natural world. The ocean's glow is not just a spectacle too. Behold, it's a story waiting to be told. We're just beginning to write the next chapter. So here we are, at the edge of the abyss. We've journeyed through the sunlit shallows and plunged into the crushing depths. We've witnessed the silent ballet of bioluminescent creatures, their tiny lights painting masterpieces in the eternal night. We've explored the intricate web of life, where light is language, weapon, and lure, all intertwined. But why does any of this matter to us? To those of us who live our lives bathed in sunlight, surrounded by the artificial glow of our cities, why should we care about these fleeting flickers of light in a world we rarely see? The answer, I believe, lies in something deeper than scientific curiosity or ecological concern. Bioluminescence is a reminder that our planet is still full of mysteries. There are entire worlds hidden beneath the waves waiting to be explored. It's a testament to the power and creativity of evolution, a demonstration that life can find a way to thrive even in the most extreme environments. Think about it. We pour billions of dollars into searching for life on other planets, scanning the skies for faint radio signals, analyzing Martian soil for microscopic organisms. And yet, we often overlook the extraordinary life that already exists right here on Earth, in our own oceans. Bioluminescence is a form of alien life, not in the sense of coming from another planet, but in the sense of being profoundly different from our everyday experience. It challenges our assumptions about what is possible, what is beautiful, and what is important. It forces us to confront the vastness of the unknown and the limitations of our own understanding. Imagine being a deep-sea explorer, venturing into a realm where the sun never penetrates, where the only light comes from the living creatures around you. Every flash, every glimmer, is a signal, a message from another being, telling a story we can only begin to understand. It's like stumbling upon an undiscovered civilization, a world of luminous cities and underwater empires. And this world is not just beautiful, it's essential. Bioluminescence plays a critical role in maintaining the health and balance of our oceans. It's a vital part of the food chain, a means of communication, and a defense against predators. The loss of bioluminescence would have cascading effects throughout the marine ecosystem, impacting everything from plankton to whales, but beyond its ecological significance. Bioluminescence holds a deeper, more intrinsic value. It is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. We are all part of the same planetary system, sharing the same resources, breathing the same air, and swimming in the same ocean. When we pollute our oceans, when we destroy marine habitats, when we contribute to climate change, we are not just harming these distant creatures, we are harming ourselves. We are diminishing the wonder of our planet, silencing the voices of the deep, and dimming the lights of the sea. And that is why bioluminescence matters to us all. It is a symbol of the beauty, the mystery, and the fragility of our planet. It is a call to action, a reminder that we have a responsibility to protect the natural world. It's not just for ourselves, but for future generations. We need to continue exploring the ocean's depths, using new technologies to uncover the secrets of bioluminescence. We need to support scientific research, invest in conservation efforts, and educate ourselves and others about the importance of marine ecosystems. But most importantly, we need to cultivate a sense of wonder. We need to rediscover our capacity for awe and amazement to appreciate the beauty and complexity of the natural world. We need to teach our children to love the ocean, to respect its creatures, and to protect its light. The ocean is not just a source of food or a highway for commerce or a place to dump our waste. It is a living, breathing organism, a vital part of our planet's life support system. It is a source of inspiration, a place of refuge, and a reminder that there is still much to discover. So, the next time you look at the ocean, remember the hidden world beneath the surface. Remember the tiny lights that flicker in the darkness, the silent conversations that echo through the depths. Remember the bioluminescence, and let it inspire you to protect the wonder of our planet. Let us embrace the call to wonder and embark on a journey of continued exploration, conservation, and appreciation of the ocean's hidden light. The future of bioluminescence, and indeed, the future of our planet, depends on it.